everybody. Welcome to an episode of the Beard Owl Podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And I hope you enjoyed the little respite that we took between albums. But now we're kicking it off. We're kicking off our celebration of Dare to Be Stupid. Now, it's not 40 years old yet, but it's close.
But it's getting there.
I think by the time we finish the series, it will be. So, in an effort to kick things off the right way, we're opening the album. The album's opening track is Like a Surgeon. And I rolled a bunch of people into this room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an Oops All Robinsons episode. Oops. So Russ and Zakk are here to discuss this track with me. Now, Zakk, when I put it out to the world that I needed somebody to talk about Like a Surgeon, you immediately said, yes, I'd like that.
Well, yes, because I love being on your show.
Oh.
I'll take any chance I can get to get on the Beard Owl Podcast.
Do you hear that, people? There's clamoring. He's clamored.
Oh, right. Clamoring. Yep.
Yeah? You don't clamor? Do you clamor?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I used to clamor.
Now you're just, all right, I'll roll in there.
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to everybody's imagination whether or not he bothered to put on a shirt for this.
Right.
I'm joking.
I like this. I like this series a lot, though, and this one is fun for me because this is the first Weird Al album for me that I bought like when it was new. Like Eat It. By the time I got around to Eat It and then bought like in 3D, Weird Al was like a known thing that I was going like getting in on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, after that, I was like, oh, Jesus, he's got an album before that, too. But like this was the thing that like the first time for me that it was like, oh, there's a new single from a new Weird Al album.
Yeah. So this is exciting. I love the Dare to Be Stupid album. I'm looking forward to going through this track by track.
I love parts of the Dare to Be Stupid album.
You know what? Now that we're in it, I love side A of the Dare to Be Stupid album.
That's most of the parts I love.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love pretty much the whole album.
yes. I mean, there's yes. We'll talk about this as we go through the whole thing. But we're talking about Like a Surgeon today.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, Zakk, first of all, at the jump, because it's been a minute since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
Doctor, how are things?
Yeah. How are things?
Things are good. They're even better that I'm down here in Florida with you.
Yay.
On your show. Shot a few YouTube videos for the Infectious Groove YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're doing this today. So I'm happy. I'm going to be doing some coke. on the show again.
Yeah.
So I'm even happier.
Great. Just watch.
This show has a Coke problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Only when the riffraff show up.
Yeah.
Me.
Say just watch how much Coke you do on the show because we got to get up early tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So, you don't want to be wired from all that Coke. I mean, we are talking about an album from the 80s, but let's not go that far.
Right.
So, as we usually begin these things, we are going to basically start off with a background factoid information about the song Dare. The album Dare to Be Stupid, but the song Like a Surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's appeared on a lot of Weird Al offerings. It was on the Dare to Be Stupid album, obviously. Greatest Hits Volume 1, Al in the Box. It's in the Squeeze Box because, by nature of being on the album.
Dare to Be Stupid album, which is in the
Yep,
box.
it's on the best of Al Yankovic and so on, so forth. And this also has a unique place in Weird Al lore, I guess, and that it's one of very few songs that got re-recorded for the The Al Yankovic Story soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to talk too much about that version unless, Zakk, you have something incredible you'd like to say about it.
I mean, it's just him older doing it.
Yep. The one notable difference for me is the way that the 1985 Like a Surgeon fades out with the flatlining, and the 2022 one, the music
The
stops
2022
and the
one
flatline
is
happens.
like a live version where it's like, this is ending now.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. And then we have the Truth or Dare version that he did live in the 90s, which we watched together just before we sat down to record this.
Moments ago.
Just moments ago. And I think that's the version of Like a Surgeon that I saw the first time I saw Al as well. Like that iteration
That's my
of it.
favorite version of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm not even a huge fan. Like when I was a kid, I liked the song "Like a Virgin," like the original one from the album of the same name. But when she, I would say reworked. I was going to say it's not a reinvention, but reworked it. I like that version a lot better, and so naturally, I'm going to like Weird Al's version.
Yeah.
Of that version better.
That makes sense. And I think the physicality of it all gave Al the opportunity to.
It's interesting because the video for like a virgin, Madonna is like flailing about in the canal, and then she very famously did that version of the song to open the VMAs in the wedding dress.
Yes,
she was flailing about the stage there. So like the song has always Madonna's performances of the song have always lent themselves well to Weird Al doing whatever he wants to do,
flailing, yes.
But somehow still the Truth or Dare version, I think, is still better.
Yeah, and the flailing is good. Zakk, what were your impressions of Weird Al's flailing in the Like a Surgeon Truth or Dare version?
Well, I mean, it's definitely Weird Al. But I like the version, but I feel like I'm the minority here. I do not like the original version of the song.
Madonna's.
I do not like it.
I think it's a thing where when I was a kid, I want to say Like a Virgin came out in '84, I think.
Sure.
And so the only one and only time I ever saw Madonna was on the Blonde Ambition tour, which was in '91. So at that point, all we had heard was the original version of the song 1 billion times.
Yeah, so you were like, Jesus, she's changing it.
It's like a thing no one else agrees with me on earth about is in 1995 or 1996, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant did a thing they called Unleaded. It was like a kind of acoustic, but not really, which is why they didn't call it Unplugged, where they reworked a lot of Led Zeppelin stuff. And there's a version of Kashmir that's like even more Middle East than like the original version.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, 15 minutes long. Like it goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
But I love that version of the song. And like, I'm pretty sure everybody else hates it. And I think it's one of those things where like, I just listen to the original version of Kashmir so many times that I'm like,
it's time for a change.
I will take a different version.
Yeah.
Oh, Al's good at reinventing things.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
So, he does it like
yeah, but with like a surgeon, like a virgin, you're still just hearing Like a Virgin.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying like his parody did not reinvent the song for me.
No.
Like, okay, here's a different example of a song that sounds the same but still was reinvented in my opinion. Headline News. It sounds exactly the same as but the way that he worked like three very current news stories like into the thing, and it still gets the same point across as the original version. That for me is a reinvention while being a parody. Whereas Like a Surgeon is I just changed the words to this and made it funny.
That's fair. No,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I totally get
And
that.
also, like, for an MJ fan, it's crazy to throw stones like this, but like Madonna was beyond everywhere. And like, if you heard Like a Virgin once a day, you were going to hear it 1,000 times a day. So,
yeah.
So
all that is to say that when I finally got to see her at 91 and, there was all the kerfuffle over the version that she was doing then, I was like, I don't care. Like she could explode a cat during a thing. I don't care. Like I want it to be different because it's lost in the, all the controversy and stuff. There was a lot of songs that were reworked and they were great. So, that was the only one where she was simulating, stuff that we probably shouldn't say on a family-friendly show. But
yeah, I mean that's totally fair. But I like Al's physical interpretation of her reworking that song in a way that he was able to like do. So he's saying, okay, well, she kind of reworked and reinterpreted the presentation of this song.
Well,
of
even
hers, right?
I mean, he's got it wasn't a bed, but he's still got the slanted little stage out there. Like her bed was like
the gurney
slanted up and stuff. Yeah, it was. You know what I mean? And I bet there was jokes in there that were or non-jokes in the Weird Al version that was lost on the audience. Like for example, the pointy bra bit from Madonna. The men that were on stage with her had ones that were like, I don't know, like a foot or two long, you know? And I bet people thought that like Weird Al was like exaggerating, and it's like, nope, that's just what they had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's so great.
but yeah, I personally, I like that version. Like if I'm going to listen to like a surgeon or like a virgin, I would rather listen to that version than, but if nothing else, because I've heard the originals of both a billion times.
Yeah.
Man, we're running into a problem here where we're saying version and virgin and surgeon, and nobody bring a sturgeon into this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, then people will be like, that episode was fishy.
Yeah, that's no way. That's no way to row.
Good one.
This is fish eggs. Okay, so
You know, the joke is funnier when you don't explain it to everyone.
of course I know. See, I explain jokes as a way of
There's a Mike
also
Birbiglia
being
bit
funny.
where he's like, comedy has been ruined by people who can't tell jokes. A joke is not a joke if you have to go, I'm joking afterwards. And then he tells a whole big long story, which I won't repeat here, not because it's unfriendly, family friendly, but because it's a long bit. And so anyways, when he gets to the end, he's like, so remember, a joke is ruined if you have to say, I'm joking or get her done. Very funny.
I love
It's a
it.
special, by the way. It's a special on Netflix called "Thank God for Jokes" by Mike Birbiglia, and I believe everybody who thinks that they're a comedy fan should watch that special. You don't even have to come away and be like, "I'm a fan of Mike Birbiglia now," but there are so many awesome points made.
So I just have a couple of facts that I feel like I'd just like to bring to the conversation at the beginning of this. Ciara apparently has a song called "Like a Surgeon" that is not at all related to this. I listened to it today, and I should not have. I'm trying to. What is the song that we all know her for?
Okay. Well, first of all, when you told me that earlier today, I was like, "What is Russell Wilson's?" Or I said something about hating her husband, and you were like, "Who's her husband?" And I was like, Russell Wilson. And then I could not remember. She had what I thought was a mild hit. The only song I just had to literally just looked it up on Spotify. "Goodies" was the song, which of course contains the poetry in the chorus. My goodies. You know.
Right. Well, that's deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, I have nothing against Ciara. I just don't like her husband all that much.
No, and that's fine. I mean,
Which, by the way, is not even a Russell Wilson exclusive thing. That's like most of everyone that plays in the NFL is somebody I don't like.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
That guy just so happens to have your name, so you don't like him. You don't like him more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've heard when I go, the Lions are playing Russell Wilson's stupid face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I did not know she had a song called,
Like a surgeon.
yeah,
Yeah. It's about being precise.
that's fun for her.
That is fun for her. So, but the like a surgeon that we're all here to talk about.
Yeah, where it turns out we're not doing an episode about the Ciara song.
No. I've got some facts about the music video for that I just think are fun because it goes by so fast and you kind of get so sucked in by the fact that like the joke on the Madonna video. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
but there's so many little things in it. Like the music video was shot in an actual hospital that had been, that had closed. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's as the music starts, there's a person on a bed that's being pushed along that has feet on both ends of the body. I don't think I've ever actually caught that, but I'm like, okay, now I see this. There is an actual lion in the hospital, which is a reference to the Like a Virgin.
But yeah, there's a lion in the
Yeah.
like a version video.
Yeah, and they had a lion in the hospital as well.
But yeah, with all the raging subtlety that was in the Madonna video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
That's great. I feel like I need to say this. The line, "Better give me all your gauze, nurse." I, for years, I think I've admitted this on this show already. I was like, what's a Gosner?
Oh yeah.
Better give me all your Gosners. Well, what's a Gosner? Let's see.
Well, maybe the world is devoid of Gosner because he took all of it.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
He did say, "Give me all your Gosner."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll take that.
But yeah, I also, that's one of those things though, because I would have been, I think, 9 when this came out. Like, I didn't know exactly what I knew he was saying gauze nurse, but I only because of the word nurse, I didn't know what gauze was.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Now I know.
Now I know. Took me a long time. There's a lobotomized patient
That I know.
reading Midnight Star,
Right.
which is fun. Let's see. One of the monitors features a clip from George of the Jungle.
Yes.
And that the George of the Jungle theme is also on
Correct.
the Dare to Be Stupid album. I think that's fun.
Oh yeah.
There is a 27 in it. One of his patients is a sign that reads 27. And in the background, there's a sign that reads now serving number 27. This, along with the 27 that appeared in This Is the Life, lyrically, it's considered the beginning of the running 27 joke.
Oh,
so
Nice.
we're seeing it right now happening here. The toy accordion that was removed from the patient is obviously Weird Al's favorite instrument, but other items removed include a heart, a film canister, several ribbons like the ones seen in a magic show, and a live rabbit.
He
So,
did some close-up magic.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Do you know, I can't ever hear that phrase without thinking of Pitch Perfect. I also do close-up magic. Oh, neat. How long was that little guy in there?
that's funny. That's funny. So,
I could quote that movie all day long.
I know, and you do sometimes.
I do.
Sometimes it does happen. It does happen. So I guess we're getting on to the part of the episode where we talk about what we really like and what works about the song. So I don't know.
I'll go first.
You go first.
So here's a weird thing that I have with this. Have you ever, and I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody else, either with a movie or a song or whatever. Have you ever heard a song, not liked it that much, and then heard something worse and liked the song more?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a weird thing, but okay, that's happened to you?
Yes.
Okay, because again, I got into Weird Al, and well after 3D came out, I was all about it. Went back and listened to the first record, thought this guy was great, waiting for this new album, and then I just was like, yeah, Like a Surgeon is just kind of there. Like I wasn't overly impressed with it. And then I got the album, and I heard Girls Just Want to Have Lunch, and I was like, that is terrible. Like there is no redeeming quality of this track. Like it's not a funny joke. Like it's like production's terrible on it. And then I went back and listened to the album again, and I was like, hey, look who's better now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair because it does put it into context. I mean, that's why one was a lead single and one was
And one was
not.
on a record.
Yeah,
One is a thing that exists.
yeah. I've got to know.
But yeah, so that was my thing was and it wasn't because my first thought when I was a kid was, oh, maybe I only like this guy when he does MJ. Like maybe I'm just bummed that's not an MJ song. But then I was like, wait a minute, no, because I went back and I love the whole 3D album, and I went back and listened to the first record, and there's no MJ on that.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like, okay, no, it turns out it's not just that. It's just that I don't know. I didn't love it at first. I like it now. But it was literally Girls Just Want to Have Lunch is the thing that made me be like, wait, Like a Surgeon's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally fair. It's completely fair. I'm like, we're gonna have to talk about that song later on in this album.
Boy, I sure hope your listeners are more excited by this episode than you are.
I know, right?
Good golly, Miss
Here,
Molly.
here, take some Coke. Here.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, yeah, there's Coke in
No.
the room. Get
No, I'm
yourself
good.
together.
I'm good. So yeah, I get that. So like, you don't necessarily this song for you didn't scream, I love this. This is great.
Well, when I heard the single, I was like, I was just like, okay, well, I'm buying the album anyways. Like, I wasn't like, yes, and I can't wait to hear the rest of this. I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to buy it. Like, I never owned the 7-inch for this because I just waited and bought the album.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I didn't love it, but I wasn't like, oh, never mind, I'm not buying the album. I was just like, okay, well, I'm still buying the album. Then when I heard Girls Just Want to Have Lunch, I was like, okay, never mind. Turns out Like a Surgeon's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you? Yeah.
So I feel like I have an odd perspective on this song.
Go.
As previously stated, I do not like Madonna's Like a Virgin. So when I heard this, I heard this song before I heard Like a Virgin. So I heard Like a Surgeon, and I was like, oh, so the original song's going to be good too. And then I heard it, and I was like, oh, okay, no. So I mean, I have a complete different perspective. This is one of my this has got to be top 15 Weird Al songs in my opinion for me.
Sure.
I mean, it might be because it was part of the first round of Weird Al songs that I was exposed to.
A lot of times that is a thing.
Because the first one I ever listened to was Fat and then Eat It. I think this was my fourth or fifth.
Okay.
The Night Santa Went Crazy is in one of those two, which was a trip to listen to when I was 7 years old.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, who played that for? Oh, wait. It wasn't the Ex-Glory version, though.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love this song. I love everything that Weird Al parodies on the original song, and I love what he did with it on the lyrics that he has in the song and all the music video and how it plays with the lyrics and how it plays with the music video.
Right.
For Madonna's Like a Virgin, like we talked about before. So I feel like I have kind of an opposite view on it, where you think that it's just okay or bad.
Right.
I mean,
No, I like it now. I just, when I first heard it, I was like,
Oh yeah.
So this had to grow on you, I guess.
Well, and like I say, Girls Just Want to Have Lunch definitely helped it grow.
Yeah. No, that's a really interesting. It's an interesting perspective. So yeah, like for me, I think I don't remember. I'm sure I'd heard Like a Virgin before I heard Like a Surgeon, but maybe I just didn't like register it too deeply.
Well, also, no, wait.
It came out in 1985, just like I did.
I was going to say, I think Like a Virgin was introduced to the world before you were.
Yeah, just a little bit. So like,
and the lead single was out months before the record.
Yeah.
Trust me, we heard it everywhere.
So, I don't know. They always just kind of coexisted, I think, in my brain. Like, I feel like I always got the joke from Like a Surgeon. And I always kind of knew what Like a Virgin was doing, you know? So for me, I think the part that I like the most about Like a Surgeon is what's the best way for me to put it? I love Al just kind of owning the moves and owning the thing in his own way.
Oh yeah.
The way he was doing exaggerated versions of Michael's moves in Eat It, I feel are, except for a couple like where he throws himself through the restaurant and stuff, through the bar rather. I feel strongly that those are just like slightly exaggerated versions of what MJ was doing. Whereas Like a Surgeon, he just comes up, points at the outfield, and then just swings for the fences.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's just like, no one shall flail more than I'm about to flail.
Yeah, and there's a weird freedom to that, you know, and I think it plays in the same field that Madonna was doing anyway, right? Like
I think it's a direct comment on her. Her dancing in that video is, for as much as the song is a gimmick, because Like a Virgin is a gimmick song, the video is shows that there's more to her than the gimmick.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like the video is like, okay, yeah, like I can be like assertive and sexy and strong and still be a young woman, which was something that people didn't believe in 1984.
Right.
And like you couldn't be all those things.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
and I think the video, for as much as I was joking earlier about, you know, like the excess of the Madonna video, I think the video is absolutely, that's the whole point, is that if you're not looking past the gimmick of this song, then you're kind of missing the point of what I'm doing. And if you ask me, you know, imitations is the sincerest form of flattery. I think what Weird Al is doing is like, I think he's paying homage to the fact that he's getting the point of what she's doing.
yeah, and that's exactly it. Like he knew what she was doing, and that gave him license to go ahead and exaggerate it and be like, no, I get your point.
Well, I think that if he was looking to poke fun, he would have just plain put it on a canal, or like on it, he would have been on a boat, you know, like doing like a direct parody of the video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that was the point. I don't think the point was to poke fun at what she was doing. I think the point was to like exaggerate. So for the people, maybe for the cheap seats, for the people who weren't getting what she was doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, especially, I think one of the things I didn't mention in the factoid part is because, like, this is something that Weird Al fans just know, is that the Like a Surgeon line, the title was her idea, you know, and it got back to him. So he knew that she was like more than okay with this. And that told him, because we have talked amongst ourselves about how there was a time when Madonna was hilarious. She took her art seriously, but she didn't take herself seriously. And I think this speaks to that, where she was like, when's he gonna do like a surgeon, you know?
So along those lines, let me throw this out there. Do you ever sit around and wonder about like people always say like you know, what would have happened if Kurt would have lived? You know, did Nirvana have more gas in the tank or whatever else? And I always tell people, I'm like, okay, but you know what you're not thinking about? You don't get the Foo Fighters. You know what I mean? So like, we don't know what would have happened with Nirvana, but we know you sure as hell wouldn't have Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
So like, when you think about stuff like that, have you ever thought about what Dare to Be Stupid would have been had Madonna not said that?
No, I haven't really. Like,
Because there was nothing else big
no,
that was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm near a scholar about the awesome music in the 80s, but like in 84, because it had been 2 years since Thriller came out and 3 years before Bad was going to come out, there was a ton of amazing music at the time, but it was such a melting pot that there wasn't anything that stood out that was head and shoulders above everything else, other than, I would argue, Madonna, Prince, who we knew wasn't going to ever say yes,
Yeah.
Lionel Richie to a certain extent,
Oh,
and there was another one that I had that I felt was a standout at that time as well. But you know, I feel like everything else, like to me, like I love Cyndi Lauper, and you know, Girls Just Want to Have Lunch being a bad idea notwithstanding, like Cyndi Lauper's like already a self-parody the way she like walks around, right? So like there wasn't a lot of good material there. Like as much as I love Huey Lewis and the News and like sports and that stuff, there's not like Huey Lewis is like self-depreciating, you know?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is had Madonna not been all about this, well, first of all, I wonder what Weird Al would have come up with on his own without her like a surgeon suggestion. And second of all, if not, I wonder if he would have done anything else other than that song. I mean, this and Material Girl were like far and away her biggest things at the time.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's for me, it's fun to sit and ponder because if you look at the parodies, there's a reason Yoda's on there.
Yeah. I was just looking at the track listing of the Dare to Be Stupid album, which we're kicking off now and we're starting it out, but we're going to go through all of this. But like there's 4 parodies on this entire album. 3 of them are on side 1. The only one on side 2 is Girls Just Want to Have Lunch. Like,
Yeah, but look at Yoda.
I know Yoda.
Okay, when did Lola come out? Mid 70s, something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
1970,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. There wasn't anything else that was like outstanding enough to anchor a record on.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So it's one of those things I've always wondered about. There's twofold. One, personally, on the good side of things, I've always wondered if she hadn't said that, what would Weird Al have come up with? Because Madonna's the obvious choice. In that year, you're going to parody Madonna.
Yeah. What would he have done?
And then the other thing is, what if he had been like, I want to do Like a Surgeon? And she was like, no. You know, like, where would we be? Right?
Where would we be?
Because it worked out before, or it would work out later when MJ was like, please not right now to Snack All Night.
Yeah.
And you get Smells Like Nirvana, right? So, like, you know, I don't know. I know this is a very like a Surgeon centric episode, but it's specific to the song. It's a thing that I think we can ponder as Al fans, like what would have happened. I think Material Girl's the next target.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it's the biggest hit.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just knowing that her video for Material Girl
It's a parody.
is a parody in and of itself.
yeah.
That the layers there could have been
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Noah,
figure
what do
either
you
that or
think?
you'd have to go back to Thriller because Thriller was still right. Yeah, Noah, what do you think? Yeah, tell us, Noah. He will have awesome thoughts on Twitter as he always does. Well, awesome thoughts. I'm sure he has awesome thoughts elsewhere, but he shares them with us on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could in '84 you could still go back to the MJ well because the singles, even though Thriller came out in November of '82, like the singles it was still spawning singles, so he could have gone back and done another one, I guess.
Yeah. No, he could have. He could have done nay, nay, nay about a horse.
Right. If Paul had a sense of humor. Can't do that, because the horse, it would be nice to the horses.
It's neat. I mean, why don't you?
Yeah, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my friend to invest in things, and then years later I'm going to just lie to the press about it. It's going to be great. You know?
Can't you do vegetable pot pie? No, that's not the tofu pot pie. The rhyme's not there.
I think I speak for at least John Lennon when I say, shut up, Paul. But yeah, I just, you know what I mean? That's just a thing that I wonder about a lot with this, right? You know, and I mean, I guess you could do with it, you know, like what if James Brown had said no to hernia, or, you know, but with this specifically, the fact that, to my knowledge, this is the one time an artist was ever like I haven't, because you know how I'm sure Weird Al can't go to the grocery store without people being like, you know, oh my God, you know what you should do? And he's like, yeah, I'm totally going to get on that. Thanks. Obviously, you're the comedic genius, you know?
Yeah.
So, to my knowledge, this is the one time ever that someone went, you know what Weird Al should do? And Weird Al was like, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
And as we learned in the Weird movie, they had a very close relationship.
I was hoping that wasn't going to come up because of the way it ended.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Moment of silence.
I just remember watching the award show the night that Al was gone down, and the fact that she's still at large, I think, is disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
If only Al had a surgeon.
Zingo, bingo. I think, you know, not to derail too far into the weird movie, though. I love that Daniel Radcliffe recreated the moves in the way that he did in that film in such a perfect little way. It was awesome.
No, I agree.
Because it's hard to move like Weird Al does. Like there are certain moves where it's just like, no, that's Al doing that.
Oh yeah, like you can look at like Elvis impersonators. You can look at an Elvis impersonator and be like, that's not him. Even if he looks almost exactly like him, that's not him.
One of the things, you and I have talked about this a lot too, is we always talk about MJ's the same way. Like if you watch like any MJ live performance and he's got the people behind him. A really good example of that is the Super Bowl performance, because at the opening of the Super Bowl performance, they had that thing where they had the MJ impersonators like all around the thing, and then he like, you know, supposedly it was him teleporting. And it's like everyone they show you're like, you ain't MJ, right? And it would be the same thing with Weird Al. You're like, that's not right.
That's not right.
Yeah,
that's not right. Yeah, your joints are a little too stiff. Anything else we think really works about Like a Surgeon that you like?
I mean, there's nothing I don't like. It's really grown on me over the years more. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where I had a thing against it for a while because like so I was like, you know how Weird Al has like a big anchor hit every couple of years, Smells Like Nirvana, Amish Paradise, White and Nerdy, you know. Like until the next one comes, that's all anyone acts like he's ever done. Right?
Yeah.
So people were acting as if like Polka Party and UHF and Even Worse hadn't happened.
Oh,
until people like, oh, Like a Surgeon guy. No, not the Like a Surgeon guy, right? So like that was irritating with me, but like focusing in on the song, I don't think there's anything that doesn't work.
Well, we can save that for the second half. Don't go there.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying. Yeah, I think a lot about it works. Like, I can't think of anything where I would go. You're like, oh man, wait till we get to the second half.
I like. I wanted to make sure I pointed out the clever sound of like hospital equipment as part of the music instead of the beep beep beep, but it's the heart monitor sound, and like that is so obvious from the get-go. You're like, this is a medical noise. That's funny.
I know it sounds so simple to say this, but the thing with like the last line being that I can feel your heartbeat for the very last time, and the thing, like, because the whole thing behind Like a Virgin is now she's alive, now she's a woman, right? Which is why at the very end is that the last line is that I can feel your heartbeat, or can't you feel my heartbeat for the very first time, right? And the fact it's shooting fish in a barrel, that line, but sometimes the obvious thing is the funniest thing, and that's the funniest thing.
Perfect.
I remember the very first time I heard it, and he was like, "I can feel your heartbeat," and I was like, "Well, what's he gonna?" And then he was like, "Last time," I was like, yes, like, yes, all right. That's the obvious thing was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. I love that. I think this is great. We're just going to throw in also that I kind of love the perspective on this lyrically. one of the things I say to my students all the time when they get stressed out about their grade on something or whatever is I was like, hey, what do they call the guy who graduated last in his class at medical school? Doctor.
Right.
You know? So it's like getting a C on that paper that one time is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know, like you're still going to finish this thing and that makes sense.
Yeah.
And this song is very much I was last in my class, barely passed at the institute, you know?
Well, and then the next line doesn't so much help here.
No, it doesn't help my point.
But
But like the fact that he's just kind of like, well, they still let me do this.
right. No,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know, whoopsie. So, all right. I feel like this is a good time to kick it over to some advertisements and some promos and things like that.
General shilling.
General shilling. Yes, those promotional mo's.
Oh yeah.
I watch a very small gaming channel. It's a guy who has a big gaming collection, and his channel's more or less turning into him and his wife have decided that they're going to open a gaming store. And like no one's heard of this channel. It's not like I'm like being obtuse about this. It's like literally just a tiny channel nobody watches. But anyways, one thing that cracks me up is literally every single video he'll be like, today we're going to talk about this, that, and the other thing, whatever else. But first, today's sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody would sponsor this channel. And then he goes out, but he does it every time, and it cracks me up every single time.
I love it. So anyway, I don't know what these ads are going to be for, but they're based on stuff you Google.
That's the thing. Don't complain to anybody about the ads because it's your own search history that's causing these ads.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews, with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
And we're back. Man, the can, get back in that can. Have I ever shown you that actual sketch, what that comes from?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to watch it after this anyways.
Okay.
Great. That's what I'm here for. That's the content I'm here for.
Get out of here, Rajesh. Look, man, she works at the station.
That's so fun. Okay. I love it. It's perfect. I love it. So now we get into, stuff that may or may not work about the track. And then before we wrap things up here, we're each going to give the song a rating on a scale of 1 to 27. And I, for one, could not be happier to be starting a new album all over again because I really painted myself into a corner with my ratings on the Weird Al Yankovic in 3D album. And so don't think about that as my baseline for any of this. I'm opening it up now because I had myself painted into a corner of 22 and up. And that was bad.
Yeah. I imagine the ratings got quite tight.
They were very tight. They're very tight there. Yeah.
She's like, this one is 26.4.
Yeah. It was like, I don't have any wiggle room. My wiggle
Whereas I
room
did
is
not play
gone.
by those rules. So every episode I was on, I rated things freely and in any way, shape, or form that I wanted to.
Yeah.
There were like at least 2 that I did that were 27, and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah. Perfect. You go back and listen to whatever those are.
Jesus, you're hitting the coke hard.
Yeah. Careful.
You have his mic muted or else you'd hear over there.
Oh, boy.
So I'm just going to come out and say this before you, like, this is on y'all. I don't think there's anything that doesn't work about this track. And if y'all want to, like, if y'all think, because that's where you're going next, right? It's what doesn't work. I don't think there's anything that doesn't work about this. And if y'all got stuff you think doesn't work about it, I'm going to argue until you're wrong.
Okay.
Go.
So I don't think anything doesn't work about the track,
That's a good way to start.
but it working with the rest of the album is a little off.
I agree, but that's not the fault of the track.
Yeah, But
There's a lot wrong with the Dare to Be Stupid
Yeah.
record. And I say that as an enormous, like, I like the host of this podcast so much, I bought the company. Like, I'm a huge, I would argue, I don't care who wants to, I'll fight people on this. I'm one of the biggest Weird Al fans you'll ever meet in your entire life. And there's a lot of problems with this record.
Yeah. That's not even, like you said, not a fault with the track, but I have a problem with the way it flows with the rest of the album.
No.
But then again,
I'm not even looking at it. Is Hamster's second? What's the second track on Stupid?
Dare to Be Stupid.
Oh, really? Why do I always think that song is later in the record. Maybe it's later on the Transformers soundtrack.
I think that might be the case.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, but yeah.
Hamster
I could
isn't
see
even
that,
on this
though.
album. We have Slime Creatures from Outer
Oh, Slime!
Space.
God damn it! That's what I'm doing. Gosh darn it! That's what I'm thinking.
Shucks.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. But it's like, again, and I'm not saying this to be funny. It's like the point is void on this though, because it's not the fault of the track.
Yeah.
It's a moot point. It's like a cow's opinion.
No.
Yeah, you know,
Moot, by the way, is one of the many reasons I mega loathe the song
Jesse's Girl.
Jesse's Girl. Don't put that that word in a lyric, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Richard
Yeah.
Springfield, if that is your real name, which I'm sure it's not.
I don't think it is.
Which is probably one of the many reasons that you've done everything you could and she's done nothing for you. She's probably not even your real name, jerk. I bet he's not even a real doctor at General Hospital either.
Oh my gosh, no, he's not.
Jerk.
Oh my goodness.
Is it Richard Springfield?
No, it's Richard Springthorpe.
Springthorpe. Yeah. Why don't you go back in time and not screw over the owner of Sound City Records?
He was a member of the pop rock group Zoot from 69 to 71.
They were a riot.
Ho hoot. A hoot. Yeah,
So yeah, but do you think there's anything that doesn't work about the track?
I don't think there's anything that doesn't work about this track. No, I think the re-record was unnecessary. I don't know why that
Wildly
happened.
unnecessary. The only thing I can think with that is I know for a fact, like as the Wrestling with Regret channel says, every time Charles Montgomery Punk comes out on the WWE, I mega loathe the fact that he uses a re-record of Cult of Personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that a lot of acts do that because of rights. Like they will re-record their song for streaming so that they get a higher percentage of the stream. Because as we know, streaming is like completely broken. The only thing I can think is that Weird Al was like, well, most casual fans are going to go to streaming, especially with the movie and stuff, are going to go to streaming and listen to Eat It, Insurgent. There's one other? Anyway, so whatever. They're going to go listen to the big dogs, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was the idea. If I were to guess, it was I'm going to get a higher percentage on this.
And I feel like that's a good idea because Al has been a very open critic of streaming and all of that stuff. And so I feel like
another thing I've heard too is people. Okay, so you know how you said Like a Virgin is on like 700 or Like a Surgeon is on like 700 different things. Okay. Things can chart better if people are, which I learned this from like the work that the Michael Jackson fans do to try and get certain songs to chart at certain times of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 3 versions of the track Thriller. There's the 12-inch single. There's the version on Thriller. Then there's the version that's on the Essential Michael Jackson. They're all 3 like slightly different mixes. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's like every version of Thriller ever, right? So there's like 4 or 5 special editions of Thriller. So if you go on streaming, just like with the song Thriller, and you type in Weird Al Like a Surgeon, you're going to come up with like 5 different versions, right?
Yeah.
So if the 3 of us were to leave this room and play Like a Surgeon, we're going to play the same version, but streaming 3 different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
So they're not going to chart. It's going to count as someone listened to each of these songs once, right? So I do know that plays into it as well. Like, for example, the Living Color, one of the reasons why they re-recorded that is because Cult of Personality is like far and away their biggest hit, right? So it's on like 7 different things. It's on a Greatest Hits album. It's on a anniversary collection. It's on the album Vivid. It's on live albums, right?
Yeah.
So every time CM Punk comes out and somebody goes to stream it, they want that one version being the latest version for people to find.
Yeah.
Okay. That could be a motivator as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. He re-recorded quite a bit. My Bologna, I Love Rocky Road, Another One Rides the Bus, Like a Surgeon, and Amish Paradise. And they were gonna do I Lost in Jeopardy. I think we got like a little snippet of it. They didn't actually like complete that.
They came up with the idea, but then they didn't.
Yeah,
Continue.
it's funny. Eat It is
No,
on here, but he didn't re-record Eat It.
Are you just gonna go right past my Greg Kinn moment?
Yeah.
I said they came up with the idea, but then they didn't continue. What are you doing? What are you? What is happening?
I'm terrible. I'm the worst. I'm really sorry.
We did a whole thing where we talked about all of his because the guy. Okay, so the I Lost on Jeopardy guy, the My Love's in Jeopardy guy, his album titles are all like puns on Kin, because it's a Greg Kinn band, right? And so somebody just stepped all over my joke.
I can't believe I did that.
I can't believe you did it either.
I'm really sorry. I think all this to say though, to get back on track here, I think part of it might have been also to make it it had something to do with Daniel Radcliffe lip syncing as well. I don't know, but you're probably more right.
I feel
than
like
else.
it's more a charting thing than anything,
Yeah.
or a percentage of. If I were to guess, like what Zakk was saying about how Weird Al has been outspoken about streaming and whatnot, if I were to guess, that's probably he gets a bigger percentage
That's fair.
on the re-record.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I think
I don't mind if people can make it sound exactly like these. I will say the Weird Al recordings sound extremely close to the originals. Mm-hmm. It's like the Living Color one. You wake me up in the middle of the night, play the new version, and I will tell you inside the first line. I will tell you if it's the new version or the old one.
yeah.
With this, I think I would have a hard time sometimes telling the difference because they're so close.
Yeah, and which I feel like is very impressive because there's 30 plus years in between some of the recordings.
40.
40?
Yeah. Like My Bologna. That was, and we were talking about the 40th anniversary of a lot of it. We're getting there. Yeah. Close to 40 for a lot of these things.
That's a long time, a lot of years. Mm-hmm. And for them to sound that similar and his voice still be able to do the things that he did 40 years ago, it's great.
Yeah. I think that's marvelous. So, Zakk, while you're here, I feel the need to tell you this, especially since I'm looking at the Weird Al Yankovic story track list. I knew this. One of the composers of the soundtrack, so like the music, in Weird Al Yankovic story, Zakk Robinson.
I didn't know I was involved.
Yeah. I didn't know I was involved. That's great. Okay. I guess it's time to rank the song on a scale of 1 to 27. I'm looking at the track listing of the Dare to Be Stupid album, and I feel comfortable giving this a 24.
All right. That's on you. I don't give the song a rating based on like against the rest of the record. I just give a song a rating based on the song itself.
Okay.
I know, like, I understand how and why you do it that way, but well, first of all, I think part of it's like I'm not on every episode for these, so like I don't have to do that. For me, it's a 20. Like it's far from Weird Al's greatest stuff. I agree, it's head and shoulders above many other things on this record. I don't want to get all picky and point things out, but like tracks with the word lunch in the title is way better than that. I mean, it's there's a lot to like about it, but like if you asked me personally to make you these are my favorite Weird Al songs of all time, and you gave me like 30 tracks, like I don't even think this would be something I thought about putting in the first 30 songs that I love by him.
That's fair. That's totally fair. What an opinion. Zakk.
Well, I'd give this a 25.
Oh my.
25.
And you don't even like a Virgin all that much.
No, this is one of the very few Weird Al parodies that I will, if you put on Like a Virgin, I'll probably be like, okay. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm not going to turn it off or anything. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you to play like a Surgeon instead.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I like the song. Like
Did
I
you
said,
hear that? That was the sound of so many Madonna fans being offended.
It's not
Madonna fans don't listen to this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Madonna has a great sense of humor. Her fans do not.
And I mean, like I said, it's a weird one in my Weird Al playbook. I like it. It's definitely in the top 15. Like I said, it'd probably be number 14 or 15 though. But I like it compared to the rest of the record. It's in the top 5 on the record. So
Yeah, well,
This is going to be quite the thing to get through on this particular album.
so much on this record. If nothing else, and I don't want to get too far into this because first of all, this episode's already like about the length of one of your episodes, and second of all, like you're going to discuss all this. If nothing else, my hope is that you come out on the other side of this record being like, with some of these, let's just flat out name names of stuff you're probably not looking forward to. Well, Lunch for sure, George of the Jungle, stuff like that. I hope that somehow you come out of each of those episodes and you're like, oh, okay, I like that a little more now.
I hope so too.
Do you know what I mean?
I hope so too.
Like, there's no saving some tracks. Again, I'm not going to name names, but ones with Lunch in the title.
and girls.
And girls in the title.
I think I preemptively saved myself a little bit of heartache by lumping George of the Jungle and Slime Creatures from Outer Space together into one episode because I'm like, I'm not getting a whole episode out of George of the Jungle.
Oh
Right.
no.
So
I would have laughed though if he would have like way overanalyzed a 1 minute song for like a whole hour. Like, welcome to the first of our 3-part special, including discussing
George of the
George of the
Jungle.
Jungle. Yeah.
oh my god.
But yeah, that's my hope. Is I hope that you come out of some of these episodes being like, you know, like, all right, well, I at least appreciate that more, or it's, you know what I mean?
I hope so too. Well, we shall see. I do know that we called him out on this episode already. But do you know who's talking about Dare to Be Stupid? You know who's coming to the show to talk about Dare to Be Stupid?
We already called him out once.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Oh yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah. So Noah's going to be back on the show to talk about Dare to Be Stupid.
That dude is very astute when
Yeah.
it comes to music.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've said that before.
Yeah. He likes it. He likes getting called out on the
He's
podcast.
great. Like if I had people like him to sit and discuss music with all the time, I would probably never talk about anything else.
Well, then you're going to roll yourself in from the living room probably
Right
and
on.
sit down and talk to Noah with me.
Cool.
It's going to be great. Well, Zakk, thank you for being here to talk about Dare to Be Stupid. There's been a fly sitting on top of the light in this room the entire time, and then I moved my arm and it just decided to start flying around.
Fly's like, okay, I'll go.
Okay, gosh.
Well, thank you for having me. I cannot wait to come back already.
Woo!
I love this show. I love being on it. I love getting feedback from people after I've been on it. The fly is back on the light.
On the light. I think that's the way to end the episode. I think that's how we're going to end all of our episodes now. The fly is back on the light.
Right. Yeah. yeah. And remember, everybody, as we always say, the fly is back on the light.
All right.
Keep your feet in the ground and keep the fly reaching for the light.
Okay. All right. Have a wonderful time, people. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.